Wondering if you could, like, in your own words, explain what Bitcoin is.
I really like this one. Bitcoin gives you an equal colored opportunity in this world.
Welcome back to the Honest Talk, where we empower your journey to success and personal growth. Today, we have a special guest, Paco de la India, also known as the Bitcoin Runner. Paco recently completed an incredible global journey, running through 40 countries in 800 days, all while living exclusively on Bitcoin. He documented every step of this unique adventure on his YouTube channel, providing a first-hand account of his experiences and challenges. Join us as we delve into the story of the Bitcoin Runner, exploring the world through his eyes and discovering the powerful message of Bitcoin that he passionately shares. Paco de la India, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations for the launch of your podcast.
Thank you very
And
much, I appreciate it.
I wish you all the best on this solo journey that you're on to now.
Cheers, mate.
And it's going to be a lot of learnings.
I could call you an inspiration. You traveled the world. I love traveling. Obviously, you've seen I've gone to El Salvador and I haven't left much of Europe. Have you done any of Europe yet? Bitcoin
None.
wise? No?
Mhm.
Is there reasons for that?
And the reason for that was it is a privileged country already. You guys already have enough information. And I
Yeah.
was just seeing how the global south is, where basically Bitcoin is
Yeah,
supposed to be used. Because for you, it's a store of
makes sense.
value. So hence, I did
hmm
not choose that. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So what's your background? Because obviously we all know who Paco de la India is, right? But who were you before that? What made you make this decision of traveling the world?
My background is goes back, I think so. I'm born in a humble family
Okay.
where if you did not go to your father's shop on a weekend, you never used to get pocket money. So grew up
Okay.
with the background of doing that. 2015, left my job. I quit my job and I went out on a sabbatical, which turned out to be for 4 years. So I went out hitchhiking from USA to Argentina, working on the streets just like a hippie. That's until 2019.
Okay.
And then in 2020, coronavirus and stuff started my YouTube channel. And in 2021 is the time when I got into Bitcoin ecosystem. And here we are in 2024. So a little bit of background in short, how it is all connected.
Yeah. It's amazing. And you discovered Bitcoin through the book, The Bitcoin Standards, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh, how did you find this book? Did you find it in the library or did a friend like give
No.
it to you?
So basically, in 21 August, this was after the second wave of coronavirus.
hmm
I my business did not work out in India, and I was looking for a job in a crypto exchange called WazirX, but I did not get a job. The
Okay.
same friend gave me a call one day. It was August 25th, and it was a full moon night. I remember this, and he was like, "Do you want to travel the world?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really love traveling. Who doesn't love traveling?"
Yeah,
But he's
exactly.
like, "You have to travel using Bitcoin." And I was like, "But what is Bitcoin?" And he gave me the book, The Bitcoin Standard.
Yeah.
I read that book. I really got inspired by it and eventually started a journey called Run with Bitcoin. That was to travel 40 countries in 400 days. It basically took me 800 days to do this journey.
Wow.
But I was able to go around the world to see whether Bitcoin really is money. And yes, Bitcoin is money. It is used across all borders. It is seamless and it doesn't shut down. So there were a lot of benefits that I found out of the use case of Bitcoin, which are apart from your drugs or your illegal
Yeah.
activities, which are either way happening through your dollars as we speak.
Exactly.
So that was a really positive outcome of the journey. So this is how I got into the Bitcoin ecosystem.
It's funny how you go in by being orange pilled, and then it's now you going around the world orange pilling the others. Um, so how did you plan out this whole journey? Did it just come naturally? You just planned it straight ahead, like head first, or did you actually plan it out and then went from there?
I think so. I just jumped into it. August 25th, I started reading the book. August 28th, I started sending out about 1,000 DMs to people. And by September 16th, my last day, and September 17th, I started my journey. So it was basically in 3 weeks, I just jumped in and I went on making the way as I went forward. I did not even know if I would be able to do one country on Bitcoin only, which is strictly to use Bitcoin. And that slowly branched out into 2 countries, 3 countries, four, five, six, seven, eight, and then the funding kept coming on. So it was purely crowdfunded from the community,
Mm-hmm.
which really proved the fact that you be your own bank. And
Yeah.
I slowly went on adding on. Like Africa was not, I was supposed to do just do 5 countries in Africa, which is supposed to be crypto friendly. but I ended up doing 18 countries, and
Wow,
which is a very important understanding in our life as to how we are evolving as humans.
absolutely.
We are
That
very behind. We are very, very, very behind in the terms of adoption, or more than adoption, I would say understanding of Bitcoin's use case. As of now, it is not there.
well, the problem with this is that most people just see Bitcoin as a investment opportunity to make quick money, and they don't actually see the potential of what Bitcoin can be and what it is and what Satoshi Nakamoto built this for, right? So that's why I'm trying to orange pill also my peers. I started a crypto club in my high school.
Hmm.
I went to my high school director and I was like, hey, I'd like to start a club. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I said, I need a room every lunchtime, etc. And when I mentioned Bitcoin, he looked at me and he was like, actually, you know what? I'm not sure we can do this. It's like, man, I just want to teach Bitcoin, you know? And he's like, nah. So I ended up still doing it under the radar.
Yeah.
And every once a week, every lunchtime, just friends would come over. We'd be like, I think between 5 to 15, just teach Bitcoin. So that went on for a while until I left high school. And even here at Lancaster University, I'm starting a Bitcoin group. Because surprisingly enough, they don't even have a Bitcoin group, not even a crypto group. So I thought I'd have to stand up and do it. But it's good to see that other people take the initiative to teach Bitcoin and Orange Peel who's that need it. So obviously we know that El Salvador is highly developed, right, in Bitcoin. Which country actually surprised you the most when it came to like the Bitcoin adoption and the use case of it?
Okay, so one thing is I would like to tell everybody is that there is a wide use of crypto around the world.
Hmm.
Those are the P2P traders
Yeah.
that is spread everywhere around the world. The second thing that I would like to say is there are Bitcoin circular economies around the world. That means there are small communities of 50 to 100 people that are using Bitcoin between themselves. Such initiative was started with Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador,
Hmm.
and that has now grown up to that there are like 15 to 20 circular economies now, or an attempt to be a circular economy happening. So for me, I would say straight after El Salvador, I would say Guatemala for that matter was good. There were like 3, 4 communities. Costa Rica was good, Brazil, Peru. So where you have these 50, 100 unprivileged people using Bitcoin as such, and that is growing as the time goes by.
Hmm.
What I would say that Bitcoin adoption is there as a store of value in majority of the Western world, or the people that I have met from Europe or UK
Hmm.
or in Americas. For a day-to-day usage, we are way early in this process. I believe in the process of spending and replacing. But if you cannot replace your Bitcoin, I would advise you to hold your Bitcoin.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Um, and seeing obviously that you traveled a lot of Africa, I looked and I saw that Nigeria, a third of this population was using Bitcoin. Um, no. Well, the statistics online say that 36% of the of the country use Bitcoin. What do you have to say about that?
All right. So, as I said, started the talk by saying it was crypto,
Hmm.
and I said they were P2P traders. Bitcoin is used as a synonym to every other crypto in the world. They don't use Bitcoin.
They use other
They
cryptos.
use USDT. They use
Ah,
USDT, USDC.
okay. Stable
That is
coins.
why they call it their exactly.
Okay.
So that's the trouble in Nigeria, that 36% are using Bitcoin. No, they're not using
Okay. Yeah.
Bitcoin. Nobody uses Bitcoin because Bitcoin is volatile. Imagine you yourself are not accounting it in your books of accounts because of the volatility. You
Yeah.
might
It
as
just
well.
the
But if
next
you
day you just lose
see,
10%.
oh yeah, if you just see your Bitcoin as in your Sats,
Yeah.
then the process is easy. Like I have 50 million Sats.
Mm-hmm.
You stop seeing the dollar denomination, and it makes it very easy. So yeah, Nigeria, for that matter, there is no circular economy. I hosted 5 Bitcoin meetups. Average salary of a person is $60 to $100, and they all have high time preference. Only the educated and the privileged people have the low time preference. So as such, Africa doesn't have a low time preference.
Okay. And did you have the opportunity to go to the Central Republic of Africa? I think that's what it's called.
Hmm.
Because I know
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
adopted Bitcoin like El Salvador, but apparently it didn't do as well.
Yeah, so Central Africa Republic. All right. Now, this is one of the richest country in the world. When I say richest at terms, I mean in the terms of all the resources they have. They have gold, silver, diamond, platinum, oil, gas, and everything. Second, this is an undeveloped country. It's not a developing country. It's an undeveloped country where you do not have road structure. From reaching from a border of Cameroon to the capital city of Bangui took me 48 hours by road. The country has a population of 5 million people, but the money circulates between the 10% of the people. That's the 500,000 people. There is a lot of United Nations involvement in there,
Mm-hmm.
and they do not even have electricity. So once if you do not have electricity or the basic means of communication, how do you expect the people to use Bitcoin? So that entire thing that they are adopting Bitcoin, yes, it made a lot of noise, but as I saw the reality on the ground, it is not that pretty. Like it is something where people um, are fighting for their basic day-to-day lives. It is really difficult to move around. There is still a lot of tribal wars going on, and if you have money, yes, you are safe. And that country I do not see adopting Bitcoin at all.
At all,
At all.
even in 10, 15 years. No,
Brother,
it's a shame.
for yeah, how old are you?
I'm 19.
And when did you figure out Bitcoin?
Honestly, 4 years ago.
So you're 15 years old,
Yeah.
right? You had this understanding and upbringing in such a way that you had an access of information that was reached to you in the age of 15 years for you to come down in the age of 19 to start this podcast and be a Bitcoiner and have this understanding. Down there, we are still in the bushes, man. So
Okay. So
it will
it's that
need
bad.
a whole, yeah, we need a whole decade. You would need 2 decades, a whole generation to make it happening. Where the person, even if you give that person that small amount of Bitcoin, but that person will go and convert it to fiat right away because of the high time preference.
Okay.
So that learning of that low time preference was the reason who you are today.
Mm-hmm.
You understood crypto also, you understood Bitcoin also, and you chose a way which was much more fruitful and which was adding more value to the ecosystem. That coming down in Africa is going to take ages. I
Okay.
say this on behalf of my experience. I may be
Yeah.
wrong because I am one voice in the ecosystem who has stayed on the ground.
Yeah.
But yet again, we are on the right way. This is how evolution of humanity is happening.
That makes sense. Okay. So there wasn't one country in Africa that sparked a oh my god, they're doing it.
Brother, how many Bitcoiners are there in this world? I would say a million tops. All right.
Yeah.
That's a world population of 8 billion people. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
just see the how where we are in that numbers. For us million people, this Bitcoin means everything. For the other people, no. So for me, there are a lot of initiatives that are happening for Bitcoin adoption. Starting from Senegal, there's a community, Bitcoin community. Ghana, there's a Bitcoin community. Nigeria, there is. So Ghana started Bitcoin educational programs. You have one in Kampala going on. Bitcoin Cameroon, they have the Bitcoin Mountain happening. South Africa, you have Bitcoin Ikasi. In Zambia, they have started Victoria Falls Bitcoin. So yes, there are all these things started over the past year. Uh, you have Machakura. Have you talked to KG Kogatsu?
Nah.
So this guy KG has made it easy for people to send Bitcoin using your old analog phones.
Okay. Or like a Nokia.
So you don't need your yeah like a Nokia. You don't need your smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need internet. And now he's working on self custody of your Bitcoin using a analog phone. So all these things are happening as we speak in the Bitcoin ecosystem. There are a couple of Lightning wallet providers down there, but as such, when there is no money, you can't buy Bitcoin. Imagine, like whoever your friends are listening, if you have $10, don't come to Bitcoin. Stay home, go buy a beer. It's cheaper.
Yeah. That does make sense.
Like you understand,
Yeah.
right? Like if the basics, you're just trying. Somebody's coming in with $10. That means he is just trying it like a casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
L-
Just
Like if you
gambling.
want to come in prop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might as well come properly with conviction and understanding. Study Bitcoin and then buy
Yeah.
Bitcoin.
Well,
Like study
what I
first.
realized is
Yeah.
when you're studying Bitcoin, like I said, I've been in it for about 4 years, thanks to my dad. And
Yeah.
even now, I'm still
Yeah.
learning a lot. Like, it's just this rabbit hole where you just keep learning and learning, and you're like, oh my god, there's this, then there's that. I mean, I only fully understood the Lightning Network like a year ago, even though I was exposed to it for a while. And I was like, even now, it's just such a complex domain that I don't think anyone actually understands Bitcoin 100%. What do you think about that? I
Hmm.
mean,
Nobody.
even Michael Saylor,
I'm with
I'm
you.
sure he just there's always this 1% of just it's such a vast world and domain that I found it fascinating. That's why I love it so much because it's
Yeah,
contiguous and continuous learning, and
I'm with
you
you on
can't get
that.
bored.
I am with you on that on 100%. Like this is just like one rabbit hole where you just keep learning and growing as a human, and you never know when do you stop, when do you learn, what is the next way forward. It's like the philosophical approach to life as to how would you like to see your life forward. Because once you fix the money, you fix the world in such a way that you have bought yourself time. This is what the current generation of kids growing up don't have.
Hmm.
They are busy looking to buy their next $1 million house, without even realize that the $1 million is getting expensive by 10%
Every
every
year.
year. And so by the time a kid that is, let's say you're 19 years old and you want to buy $100,000 house, by the time you are 29, that house is two
Yeah.
hundred
No,
thousand
it's
dollars.
mad. Inflation is crazy. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Honestly, I've been meeting a lot of people this last year, and a lot of them, when I was starting to get them into this Bitcoin stuff and explaining how fiat currency is shit,
Mhm.
and when I explained how they actually print money and how money actually works since 1981,
Mhm.
they're like, "What? You can
Mhm.
print money?" I'm like, "How do you not know this? How do you use this piece of
Mhm.
paper without even knowing where it comes from and what it is?" And I find this
Mhm.
absolutely mad. We need to wake up these people.
These people I do not know, man. I would say everybody has their own journey, and Bitcoin is just a means to meet the end. Some people who can meet their end using the traditional finance system, kudos to them. Some people who cannot do it, good luck to them. But so far I've understood is like Bitcoin shouldn't be the answer to everything.
That is true too.
It's like fix the money, fix the world. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. And you should stop giving people free education. I've reached a place in my life where I would like to charge people for this education of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is worth $45,000 now, that means you as a Bitcoiner are worth $45,000. And if you are worth $45,000, that means your time is worth $45,000. So if your time is worth $45,000, start using your time as if you are
Yeah.
worth $45,000, and stop giving yourself as cheap as an Ada card anne.
Yeah.
You see, that is something which will make you happy, and next time you will say those words, yes, I'm happy with the Bitcoiners. Because as of now you're frustrated with the normies. Next time you would be happy because you're valuing yourself. You're not wasting your energy for free. You go to a church when you're in need. When your needs are fulfilled, you become a follower.
I like that.
And here we are in the Bitcoin ecosystem, people are in need. And people have moved away from the philosophy of growing to buying. They
To
know how to buy things.
hodling. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So people know how to buy things. So make these normies buy your services. Once they buy your services, they feel that yes, I have bought something. They feel like a hunter who has gone hunting and come home with the catch of the day. Make these people feel them, treat them as they want to be treated, and there, my friend, you will have your group of Bitcoiners and
And
maxis.
maxis. Yeah. No, it's funny because when I was so this conference in Cologne, the crypto rockstars, I s-
Yes.
everyone that was talking of crypto. I mean, I was the only ones present as a pure Bitcoiner. I mean, you were there with Saber
Yeah.
there and the others
Yeah.
too, and I was the only maximalist there. So I was like, how can I like change a bit what I'm going to be talking about, because they're all talking about the financial opportunities and how you can make X money with this and this. And I thought, well, I'm just going to name my presentation Bitcoin a way of life. and just discuss for 50
Yeah,
minutes of the philosophy of what Bitcoin really is, and people loved it because it just changes, and I
yeah,
was the only Bitcoiner there. So it was refreshing. I was glad you were there too, honestly, because I
yeah.
was like, I can't be on my own. And then I looked on my phone. I was like, Paco, where are you? He's like, don't worry, I'm there, man. I'm just so far away, but I will be there. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hopefully this year we can do this in person.
Absolutely.
I really like the concept of this, and I'm really happy that you chose the way of life. That's a very
Yeah.
well nice use of words
Absolutely. Yeah.
that you have shared, because crypto people want to make money and you can't blame
For
them,
sure.
man. Because everybody is hustling for their
Mm-hmm.
life, they're hustling to make that few extra
Mm-hmm.
quits so that they can fulfill their
Especially
family
in these times,
needs.
yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah, yeah, and it is just getting tougher and tougher. Like you and me have opted out of the system, hence we do not feel the
Mm-hmm.
pain. But if you stay in the system, yes, there is a continuous pain.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's a beautiful word. I think so. You should definitely call it a way of life, your educational series. And you should just share with people. Um, yeah, share with people for a value, charge them.
I was actually starting an online course recently for Bitcoin for university students. I haven't
Nice,
actually
do it.
launched it yet. I had a couple of clients and they were happy with what I was teaching them, but I'm gonna have
Perfect.
to launch it soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, launch it. I would be happy to add value to here,
Appreciate it, man.
man.
Yeah,
We can definitely set up a course. This is what something I'm trying to start in
yeah.
India now, since India has 27 constitutional languages. So what you can be doing is have 27 teachers who teach you about self custody, right? Now, if you have 27 teachers, at the end of the day, these 27 people have their own friends.
That's true.
They will suggest to themselves
And
in
they're
their own
all
language.
interconnected.
And similarly, you can, and this is what we need. That's the circular economy for me, rather than shouting out on a Twitter handle and shouting hodl. See, so you
No,
can
for
do
sure.
this with your own university students,
Yeah,
and make them understand what the way of life is. And the way of life is only possible when you have time.
absolutely.
That's the ultimate richness.
Time.
And you don't want to have poor people in your life.
No, absolutely.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
want to have rich people in your life, rich in
Rich in
time.
time and rich in values.
And those, yeah, when they have values, that means they have time to think about values.
Exactly.
Like it all boils down to where you use your time, right? At the end of the day.
Brilliant. Yeah. To go back to go back to your Bitcoin runner. What was the country
Yeah.
where you had the most fun? Where you just got there and you were like, oh my god, I love this. I want to stay here.
I would say I would really like to say that it was the Latin American countries for me.
Yeah.
Of the entire lot, I would say Mexico
Really?
and El Salvador for that
Yeah,
matter.
for sure.
El Salvador because it gives you the freedom of
Mhm.
everything, but I guess being a Bitcoiner doesn't mean that you need to talk Bitcoin every day.
Mhm.
Being a Bitcoiner means that you have a way of life that is valuable enough and it is not just wasted away. And I really felt that in Mexico. One, the quality of life is good. That means the food they eat is really delicious and fresh off the produce. The cost of living is very low, and you are free to do a lot of on ramps and off ramps with a lot of people around the world.
Okay, so Mexico.
So I really felt like that is the thing. Yeah, Mexico is something on my radar. I like
Mhm.
salsa, so I may be biased. I
Oh
really
yeah.
like to dance
Okay,
salsa, and that's the community where you are free to
that makes
dance.
sense. How many languages do you speak, by the way? Do you speak Spanish
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I speak Spanish
Okay.
fluently. I speak English. I speak Hindi,
India.
and I speak a little bit of Indonesian
Okay.
Bahasa.
Okay, so that obviously helps when going to
Yeah.
Latin American stuff. Yeah. The next country I really want to do is
Yes.
Thailand, and I know you've been to Thailand. What was your experience there?
Very good country. Very good choice. Now in Asia, yeah, you would like Thailand. Thailand has a lot of crypto people and
Okay.
Bitcoin people. The cost of living is low, and you're living a much more natural life. That means when I say natural life, you're eating good food. That is what makes you happy as a person. And this is something that is possible in Thailand. The community is spread all the way from Bangkok, Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, Phuket, Chiang Mai. So you can choose different pockets, all either the beaches or the mountainous towns. You're pretty
Yeah,
good to
honestly, I
go, man.
just I don't know
You'll
why.
have a
I
you'll have
just
a great
I
time. But
feel attracted. I mean, I wanted to go to Koh Samui first, but then I realizing it's getting more and more touristic. I don't know if you have anything to say about that. I feel like it's getting, but
that is
so
true.
I'm going towards more of like Koh Phangan. So I think it's the island right above it. I think.
Yeah,
But one of my best
yeah.
friends goes there every year, and he tells me it's honestly the best, and I really want to explore that country. I'll have to do that soon. Might take like 2 weeks off and just go
Yeah,
travel on my own.
yeah, just like you are planning to do this like this, there are another 10 million children around the world who are growing and using Instagram, and they also follow all this and they also want to go. Hence, these places are getting commercialized. These places were first mystery to people, just like Bitcoin is a mystery to the 7.9 billion of the world. And as the time gets formalized, hence we see ETFs in Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hence we have all this mainstream adoption.
Oh
So
yeah,
everybody's doing their soul searching. Good luck with your
thank you,
soul
man.
searching.
By the way, you just mentioned the ETF.
Yeah,
What's your take on that?
yeah, it is it, man. I think so. I just do not care whether you have your custody or you don't have your custody anymore. We are in the mainstream adoption, and people would rather buy ETF because it gives you an easy on ramp off ramp
Yeah,
solutions, and people would be happy to trust somebody because we are social animals who like this thing
yeah,
called trust, and they want to trust.
yeah. Even though Bitcoin
That's
isn't
it.
is taking that out of the equation and they're putting a bit back in, but I see what you're saying. Doesn't matter because they are actually buying Bitcoin, and that's what matters.
Exactly. That's what ETF stands for, where you're backing up your thing to this. And this is a very good step. And as the times go down the line and people understand, it will be not never be too late, I guess. It would be just the game of the rich in
Mm-hmm.
the future, where if you have Bitcoin, that means you
Yeah, for
have
sure.
freedom to move, and you will do anything and everything to preserve your money.
That makes
Why
sense.
would you let go of your Bitcoin? Tell
Exactly.
me.
True. True. You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
Never. Hello.
Yeah, there we go. So the paradox of you trying to say let's spend and use that Bitcoin is
And
also
then yeah,
correct,
yeah.
and
That's
the
true.
hodl is also correct.
Yeah. So
It is
you're like,
just like,
what am I gonna do? Yeah.
yeah, think about it. Like you would rather hodl than spend, right?
Yeah. But then I also want to spend the Bitcoin for the exactly. Exactly.
Exactly. Such is
Yeah.
life.
You gotta find
It
a
is
balance. You've
beautiful.
gotta
It
find a
is very
balance in
beautiful.
that. It's all about
Yes,
balance.
that's true. Yeah, man.
What's the toughest country where it wasn't like a absolute challenge to one use Bitcoin and two actually I wouldn't say survive. That's like a big word, but like just the toughest conditions.
I would say survive is a very good word,
Yeah,
bro.
it was actually. Would you
Yeah,
actually call it surviving?
yeah, I would say it is very difficult situation in the world we are living in, and for me, the where you can't speak the language. See, let me start off. This world, believe it or not, is a game of color. Like the white means white, the black means black. All right. So once if you're in a country with a different skin color and you do not speak their language, how do you expect to use Bitcoin? So such country for me was Haiti, where I really felt in the Cape Haitian, the capital city, was really dangerous for me to live. I was really scared. I used to hear gunshots, and I don't speak French or Creole, so it was really difficult for me to communicate. And then the people do not have spendable income. Like it is just a very bad situation. Like I would really like to share this with the people. Like there are such countries all around the world, Cuba for that matter, where a common man does not have more than $12 of spendable income.
Yeah,
How can you expect somebody to
yeah, sure, sure.
hold
You can't.
Bitcoin?
It's hard.
When I say, yeah, I started this answer by saying the game of color. And I mean that the Europeans, the Americans, and the Canadians have this idea called hodl Bitcoin, right? Which means save your Bitcoin. That means it's a store of value. The around the world, people don't have the money only to save. So how will they end up saving Bitcoin? It is the thing, and their money is getting devalued. You are hit by inflation, then you're getting money devaluation, and then there are just there. The concept of free lunches was supposed to be on basis of value being added to the society. The government is now giving handing out free money so much that you are just busy handing out free money which is not adding value, and you're looking for ways to make get money, and hence your money is getting devalued. So it is all connected efforts. That little small problem became a huge problem now, where a common man cannot even afford a
Yeah.
house.
No, it's scary.
So we are very privileged. We are privileged kids. We should really thank our
No, for
stars.
sure.
We should really thank our
For
stars.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And what was the country where you felt the hyperinflation the most? I guess it was in Africa.
Yeah, I would say it was definitely. I think so. Cuba also, I felt it like it was so bad. Cuba was really bad. Since we come with our US dollars, so yes, we were good. I would say for that, Africa, Zimbabwe, man. Like I was with this local family. They do not save any money. As soon as they get their money, they get paid weekly. They just go buy food.
Yeah. They're just living, but yeah,
Like,
they're just, yeah,
can you believe
living
that?
paycheck to paycheck. Like
Yeah,
literally.
they just live pay. Because what happens is the bread that is costing you $1.25 today, tomorrow if you go to be $1.30.
What? That bad?
Yeah, so yeah, it
Wow.
is really bad. When I was in Zimbabwe, a dollar was 500 Zimbabwe bond. This is in June 22, right? Just 18 months ago. Today, a dollar is 13,000 Zimbabwe bond.
That is
Yeah,
mad.
Nigeria went from 400 to 1400. Um, Malawi went from 600 to 1800, where your money is just getting valued 3x, 5x, 10x.
Yeah.
What can you do, man? Like, how much Jesus will help you? Just tell me about that.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
we have evolved from being barbarians, hunting for food and hunting for women. Women used to be a scarce resource. So people used to take others' women, make babies, make their armies. From being barbarians to getting religion, that is a way of life, as you said, right? Religion was come to protect the woman. Hence, you see an Muslim woman wearing the black
Mm-hmm.
abaya, and when you look at a girl with a black abaya, automatically your eyes go down. That is sign of
Yeah.
respect. From barbarians to religion, from religion being lot of authoritarian people coming in play, the Christians, we got politics. From politics, now we have political parties in the
Mm-hmm.
world that are commanding
Yeah.
it. There's been all an
This is an
evolution
evolution.
of
Yeah.
humanity.
Makes sense.
And now from this political parties charging us exorbitant amount of taxes, we are moving towards as something called as communities, where there are Bitcoin communities, and there are these free cities that are coming where you're free to practice what you want to practice. So we are evolving as humans towards this. Those who are privileged, that when I say privilege, it means access to information. There
Yeah.
is information, but access is not there.
The
Like
access
I'll give
isn't
you an
there.
example. In Africa, when you buy your SIM card, they
Yeah.
give you free Facebook, free Instagram. But if you want to use Google, you have to pay money.
Really. Wow. So
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook
So
is free, but Google is like.
yes,
So wow.
exactly. So access is the reason that you do not get. If access was easy in 2009, they should have taught us in the school. If access was easy in 1971, our parents should have known about this. Yeah, in 1971, our parents didn't know about this happening.
No.
We came to know you as a child of the 20th, this millennium.
21st century. Yeah.
You came to know in 2016, 2018,
2018.
2019.
Yeah.
Imagine,
Yeah.
I, who am 34 years old, I came to know in 2021.
Yeah. True.
You and me are privileged, and yet we came to know. Just imagine the people, the 7 billion people.
Yeah. No, that is mad. It's funny you say
Yes.
that because I still remember Bitcoin being at
Yeah.
$3,000, and obviously I didn't think much of it when I was starting to get into it. I was like, oh, so I did put money into it, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's mad. Time flies. Time flies.
Very true.
Um, I heard you were in a bus accident.
Yes.
what, what happened there? Was it in
Uh,
Zimbabwe?
yep, you got that
Oh my
right.
god.
I would say the energy of humans has kept me alive. I would really thank every person who knew about my journey, who blessed me, who
Mm-hmm.
shared with me their blessings, made it possible. It was Zimbabwe. I had reached the border town. There were no buses late in the evening. So I was staying with the immigration officer. He let me stay in his room for like $10. He was very happy. He's like, pay me anything. And I
Wow.
stayed there. And in the morning, he said, there's a bus crossing now. Ask them. I went and asked the bus driver, and I had very little fiat. So I tried to bargain with him, and he almost left me.
Wow.
And I was just like, ah, shit. So I was just walking, but the bus reversed, and he's like, okay, jump in. As soon as I jump in the bus, as usual, I, being with the skin color, I always like to sit in the front. So I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting in, I was going to sit in the front, and he was like, don't sit in the front, sit behind. And I was like, okay, I can't fight with him. So I just went behind, and the bus, a Toyota Coaster, a 30-seater bus, was loaded with a lot of luggage in the back. So when
Okay.
Africans travel, they carry like 50 kg, 100 kg, 200 kg of stuff. And we were like 8 passengers, 9 passengers. So we were on the gravel road, we are going. This guy's precious brake. The bus skids, goes left, right from the back, right? When there's a lot of weight behind, it starts
Mm-hmm.
skidding. It skids and it flips. And thank the conductor, I wasn't sitting in the front. If I was sitting in the word, all my face wouldn't have been there right now. I wouldn't be here practically, I would
Wow.
say. And the bus flipped. I came to the
Thank
other
God.
side. Everybody was alive.
Okay.
Everybody was there. And we were really thanked our stars. We got everything out of the bus, and then we were got rescued. A car came to us for rescue. It was a national park. Thank God there were no animals,
Mm-hmm.
because these are the national parks where there are animals moving around. And I really reached home that night. I just had my couple of 3 4 beers, and I was really happy. I was like, I'm alive.
You're
Like,
thankful to be alive,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I was just like, I'm alive. And the journey continued. Now, fast forward 5 months later, I had the similar experience. I missed my bus,
Mm-hmm.
so I had to take another bus. And turns out, in Central Africa Republic, those people, there is a section where the bus goes down the cliff. Before the bus going down the cliff, they stay the night before in the town. Somebody cut down their brakes, and then the bus just went and died. The brakes failed, everybody died, and all of the brakes, when they failed, they were cut down by the humans down there. And the purpose of that was so that when people die, we can take their money and their belongings. And I was supposed to be in
Oh,
that bus, and I
wow.
was really thankful that I was not in
Yeah,
that
for
bus,
sure.
and I'm alive. And I'm alive.
Wow.
So I'm really grateful for that matter.
Yeah, for
Like, I
sure.
am alive.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I was laughing at first, but obviously it's not because it's funny. It's just so
Yeah.
surprising that you just get to Zimbabwe and you just end up in a flipping bus accident.
But so we need to always thank, like, your body is very important for the success in your life. You
Absolutely.
take
It's
care
your
of your
vehicle.
body.
It's your vehicle. You only have one.
Yes, the youth that is out there, please listen to your body. Your body is your answer to your life. And I have stopped traveling now is just because my body was losing. I was getting fat. My That means I am losing my flexibility, and I really wanted to take care of my body. Hence, I've done traveling. I've stopped my journey, and I'm just gonna stay at a place and fix myself.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's understandable, man. That's understandable.
yeah, man.
When do you think you're gonna start back up? Are you gonna continue the
No,
Bitcoin running, or you're done with it?
I'm done with it. I'm gonna basically, as I started, we had this chat earlier in this podcast where we were like, we are going to start offering our services. There is something that happens to a human that is called the ego. The ego creeps in when you get better at your job, and if the ego keeps getting better of you, and you get egoistic, where because you're getting better at your job, and people start knowing you for your job, and you start feeling powerful, and then ego gets to your head. The only way to let go of that ego is when there is an outflow of energy. That is when you're sharing what you have learned. So that is happening to me.
Okay.
And I would be, as moving forward as a human, I would be sharing my knowledge to the people. And yes, I would be sharing that knowledge for a value.
Okay.
So you should definitely charge people for your time, as I said,
Mhm.
and you should value yourself. So this is what I'll be doing. I will be working on the Bitcoin education system.
Okay.
Yes, there are 28,000 other coins in this world. Yes, everybody is solving a problem, but there is no other coin other than Bitcoin that is more valuable
And that's
for my
decentralized.
time. Yeah, like I feel my time is much more. I value my time when I give it to Bitcoin. This is
Yeah,
what
for
I
sure.
am.
Okay. So you felt you were getting too egotistical when it came to your Bitcoin travels. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
because the thing, the bandwagon that I was running around, that Bitcoin is hyper Bitcoinization is there. Nah, hyper Bitcoinization is not. The world is not ending. It should have ended in 1971. It should have ended in 2021 with the
Yeah.
coronavirus. All right,
But we're still
yeah,
here.
we're still here.
We're still here. We're
So,
thriving. We're thriving.
like, as a Bitcoiner, you're very happy.
Yeah.
January 2023, Bitcoin was $16,000. You're already 2.37x more. Tell me, how aren't you
Yeah.
thriving?
We're thriving, and the halving is coming, so we're all
Yeah,
thriving.
yeah. You at the end of the day, you care about your own 50 people.
Yeah.
So you just care about your 50 people, man. You're on the right path.
That's very true. That's very true. Damn. This is key. This is a great. This is a great conversation.
Yeah,
This
like
is great.
I feel generally what happens with the Bitcoin maximalism is that we are just talking about how the world is ending.
Yeah. This. Well. Yeah.
We
Sort of.
and just
Yeah.
think about it. Just think about it now. If you're youth people, that is 19-year-old, you guys, right? You'll have your friend circle listening to your talk. Even if 5 people listen or 55 people listen, and we are just telling you people, the young generation, that the world is ending. What you're studying is useless. You're gonna be
Yeah.
jobless. You're gonna be homeless. That
So
guy
act
will,
now.
yeah, that little kid will immediately say manifestation. They're
Yeah.
like, I'll manifest my success.
That's what you
And when
gotta
he
do.
goes to the, yeah, so when he goes to do the reality check, yes, the world is ending. But that's not a great way to make a tribe, right? You did not go to the church because the world was ending.
Yeah.
You went to the church because you needed something. All right. You treated the church like a Walmart and you went and you bought what you wanted to buy. This is the same way as Bitcoin. So the generation that will come with you through your way of life project will definitely come with the need. They need to need it. As of now, they don't have any need. They
No, that makes
see
sense.
your children who are there in your college right now. These all
Mhm.
children are privileged. They all have
Mhm.
food, shelter, clothing.
For sure.
Yeah. So they need a need, the
They
Hunger
need to
Games.
hunt. They need to hunt.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. By the way, it's funny. You mentioned Jesus earlier. I met this guy in El Salvador. His name was Eric, and he wrote this book. I think it's 100 pages long. He sent it to me by email. It's called the Jesus Bitcoin Connection,
Okay.
and I read it. So that was a year ago. So I quickly read it. I didn't finish it. But I've got to read it again. Are you interested by that? I could send you the link if you like.
Yeah,
I think
please.
I think
I
it's a
like the
PDF.
name.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
really like the name.
I found it very interesting. I started reading it, but back then I wasn't that because I'm getting closer to God now, recently,
Huh?
and
Huh?
before that, when I had that, I didn't really think much of it. So I quickly read it and I thought of it as a joke. But
Huh?
it's funny because I just reread the email right before I hopped on
Huh?
this call, and
Huh?
I think you'd be interested in that. So I'll send you that PDF afterwards. It's really
Yeah.
interesting. See, that's how you just meet random people. Like I was on my own and I just met this guy who's like, "Yo, I wrote a book, Jesus Bitcoin
Huh?
Connection." I was like, "Okay, give it to me."
I like the
Yeah.
name. How? What was the story about?
He's basically taking the Bible and the word of Christ and comparing it to the philosophy of Bitcoin and basically
Nice.
making the links. And thinking
Nice.
about it now, it is really interesting. So I've got to read that. But I'll send you the link after this. It's really
Yeah.
interesting.
That'd be really good.
It,
So see, there is a
yeah,
lot of information.
yeah. It's
That's
funny because
positive.
you just the people you meet around the because I'm
Yeah.
sure obviously I haven't traveled that much, but I know that you obviously traveled a lot, and I guess you've met a lot of people. What are
Mm.
some of the best best people you've met? What are the best meetups you've done? The best people you've met?
Oh,
It's a,
wow.
it's a tough
I've met
question.
great. Yeah, I would start this off by saying first to the young generation that is listening, first be a traveler so that you come to know who you are, and then be a Bitcoiner. right? That's my advice to you all, my suggestion. But you can do either way. First, be a Bitcoiner and then be a traveler. Either way works, but figure yourself out. Because of my background in traveling, I was able to meet a lot of people in this run with Bitcoin journey
Mm-hmm.
who really added value to my life, and I understood there is no hurry in anything. What's the hurry? Take your time, take a breather, and enjoy what you are doing. Like, enjoy what you're doing was something these Bitcoiners are doing around their life. So I have met beautiful people. I'll give you two good experiences that just come from the top of my head right away. I reached Nicaragua. A guy sends me a DM on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
random name, random everything. He's like, I really like you, Paco. Here is a hotel voucher where you can go for 2 nights and 3 days and stay for free. And go take a break. You deserve one. I really did
Wow.
that. A random
Wow.
guy. So that was kindness. You see, the
Yeah.
kindness comes from humans because humans value your work. Humans value your quality. That is very important. So, like this, you will start meeting a lot of quality people. As you are a Bitcoiner, you would see they are quality people. They are the thinkers. And I have met such people everywhere. I would say my last meetup was in Curacao with Peter Kroll. He is the founder of the Paper Wallet,
Okay.
and he hosted a
Oh, okay.
Bitcoin meetup. He hosted a Bitcoin meetup, me being there, and we had caviar down there.
Amazing.
Now so I did not know about this man. He reached out to me. You see.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are the two people I've just showed you as an example as to how people like to share.
Mm-hmm.
So I have had great experiences. I always believe like you should do your work where you do not exhaust yourself. So if you do the work, you will be rewarded with the right amount of people and the right people in your life. And as you went to the crypto rockstars, that's a great place. So if you can go to a conference close by, please do go ahead and meet your people. Just go meet, and we can definitely do this, man. If you can definitely do this, you are on a fucking rockstar mode, man. Like you would be doing what the AI does. AI is successful because it has all this information, and it combines all this information and creates it.
Mm-hmm.
This is why a human will be successful, because you will meet people and you will have all these ideas, and from those human connections and ideas you will create of something new.
No, for sure. For sure. I love the way you express yourself, man.
Hey man,
You put
I,
your message very well up there.
I think so, brother. Because I would say now this one is a geek. I'll tell you why I became like this. I became like this because of only one thing, and that was UTXO management.
Okay.
It really pissed me off that I learned about UTXO management last month,
Yeah. I can understand your
2 months ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago, like I'm telling you, it was December when I learned about UTXO management, and I was like, hey, I traveled 2 years, 800 days. I
All of
traveled.
that without
I
knowing. Yeah.
traveled without knowing, and I'm telling people to buy these 2000 sats, 3000 sats on chain, and I was seeing, and really upset me. And I was like, I need to share with people that Bitcoin is not the answer to everything. And this was my message to everyone. Like, if you do not get it, no problem. The world is not ending, my dear friend. It's okay. You're on the very right path of your life that you're questioning.
Mm-hmm.
At least you start questioning yourself without hurting yourself. Like, imagine I start talking to you, brother, and I say the world is ending. By the time our call is ended, you would be just like, shit.
Like no. Fuck.
No, come on. You're a young kid, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, you have dreams too, right? You're also a good person. You're not here to like destroy the world, right?
For sure.
Then why the world is gonna get end? Why
Yeah.
why do not we believe there come good people?
No, for sure. Damn.
Yes, man.
Um, I was thinking because I haven't talked about Bitcoin. Like I haven't made a Bitcoin specific episode yet, so I was wondering if you could, like, in your own words, explain what Bitcoin is very shortly. I know it's a very complicated topic, but in your own words, try and explain what Bitcoin is in like a minute, if you could.
That's what Sailor does. I really like this one. I really appreciate with this thing. One thing I would say is Bitcoin gives you an equal colored opportunity in this world. When I say this, it means anybody who has Bitcoin around the world doesn't see your caste, color, religion,
Yeah,
creed,
anonymous.
belief system. They just see your Bitcoin. So in this world, it doesn't matter if you're a black, white, or brown. Your Bitcoin gives you that equal opportunity. You will not have the equal starting point in your life, but in the world where it is all colored coded, as you can see, who has more money, right? The one who has money dictates it. Finally, you have something that gives you an equality in this world, and that is what Bitcoin is to me. It gives you that freedom. So if you're looking to connect with the world, listen, and you have this passport that does not allow you to travel, there is no more freedom of speech. So finally, you have freedom of money. And money is a form of speech that will help you connect to people all around the world. This world runs on money. People talk about the four or the five elements of life. I would say the sixth element is money. If you have money, the world is yours. Even your father will talk to you.
Yeah,
If you don't have money, should go on the streets and go make some money. So Bitcoin gives you that advantage where that money, the digital money, does not lose value over time. It doesn't get devalued.
yeah, yeah, no, for
Thanks.
sure.
So that is Bitcoin.
That is Bitcoin. That is a good perspective. I've never thought of it like that. That's
Yeah,
not bad.
like everything, it's beautiful. Everybody has their own perspective.
Yeah, no, that's what makes
It,
it beautiful, for sure.
like it. I was gonna say I went to a painting class. It was in Chile in 2017, and this guy he put an apple in front of us,
Okay.
and he said we were like 10 people sitting around the apple, and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, draw this apple. We all drew this apple, and while drawing he was like, don't worry, nobody's apple would be perfect or beautiful, because everybody is viewing the apple from a different side. The shadow of that apple is
A
falling
different
on a
perspective.
different.
Yeah.
And this is what Bitcoin is. Like, you have a different perspective, I have different perspective, it's good. Everybody's perfect. The thing is, you're drawing your thing and you're doing some work, so you're doing great. Whatever perspective you think Bitcoin is a get rich get quick rich scheme, good. If you think Bitcoin is anti-state, good. If you think Bitcoin is money laundering, good. Bitcoin is for the common people, good. Whatever you think is good, you're doing the right way.
Perfect.
Yeah, man.
Amazing, man. Amazing. I'm just gonna finish on this question for
Yes, please.
any young man or woman, obviously, aspiring to travel the world. What piece of advice would you give them?
One, start couch surfing. It's You can live vicariously. It's for free. Couch surfing is like Airbnb, where
Okay.
you let travelers come and stay at your house. And it's like, I think the couch surfing community relates really well with the Bitcoin community, because it says don't trust, verify. So there is a verification process in there.
Okay.
People leave references. So start living hosting travelers in your house, and
Okay.
once you start hosting travelers, they will inspire you with travel stories. And
Mm-hmm.
once you get inspired from those travel stories, go out, do a 1 month trip backpacking by yourself, and stay with those local people in their local houses. This way you will save your money on accommodation, and you'll have a
Mm-hmm.
friend in that local country for free. Unless you have money and you just want to go get drunk and party, yes, go do that also. That is also great. You want to go diving, go do that. So follow your thing. Just do what you wanted to do when you were as a young 13-year-old kid. So go out traveling, go out meeting new people. Do this for a week, a month, or a year. Everything is correct, and this way you will be able to. Like, for me, my angle was couchsurfing saved me money financially on my accommodation. Hitchhiking saved me money on my transportation. And food, yes, you can buy $3 to $5 food. Cook your own food. Go buy a banana. Go buy your own oats. Eat your own food, and just go out of your comfort zone and try. Once you go and try these things, you will start trusting yourself. You will start believing in yourself, because as of now, you just believe in your friend, your girlfriend, or your parents. You're always looking for approval. You're always looking
Mm-hmm.
for company. So might as well just go out and see who you are and start trusting yourself.
Amazing.
And then be a Bitcoiner.
Paco, thank you very much, man. It was an honor to have you
Yeah.
on, and
Thank you so much.
I hope to have you on again in the near future, man.
Please. Yeah, it's been an honor. Thank you for having me. And I would just want to sum up that quote with a quote that I call it quote only.
Hmm.
Hippie is a Bitcoiner. He doesn't know it yet. And a Bitcoiner is a hippie, but with money. So you will figure that out as you grow.
Man, thank you very much. That's great.